Hi guys, today I'm going to be talking to you about Bram Stoker's Dracula. It was written around 1891 to 1897, and the first publication was in 1897. It's told primarily through the first-person views of the main characters through diary entries and like a ship's log, for example. It's set at the end of the 19th century in England and Eastern Europe. The tone of the story is very dark and melodramatic, and it's got a lot of strong religious undertones. For example, the main character, Jonathan Harker, is given a crucifix. All the way there, people are just, warding off evil from him and giving him, giving him crucifixes, giving him garlic, all these things to ward off something evil, but Jonathan doesn't know what it is yet, and he can't communicate with the people because he doesn't speak their language. He's just completely out of it. He's got no idea what's going on. So the story starts out with our protagonist, Jonathan Harker, who is he's a solicitor's assistant at a law firm that Count Dracula has hired to oversee the purchase of various estates around London. And the original lawyer that was assigned to the case had gone to Transylvania to Dracula's castle and came back a little crazy. So he's in a madhouse now, and so they send Jonathan to take his place. When he gets to the castle, he's greeted by this kind old man, Count Dracula. Seems harmless. As time goes on, Jonathan realizes that, he's not going to be leaving anytime soon. Count has him write post-dated letters to his friends and loved ones saying that, he's going to be there for a month, and then he's going to be there for, another little while, and then it's supposed to be that he's leaving, but the Count is really planning to kill him off. So the Count has got Jonathan as prisoner in his castle, and all the while Jonathan's been writing in his diary, which is what we see as we read the book. And eventually the Count leaves for London and doesn't take Jonathan with him. He leaves him to the mercy of these 3 female vampires, presumably Dracula's wives or sisters or daughters. So while Jonathan is still in the castle and the Count is lurking around London, he targets Lucy Westenra, a very rich young lady, who's best friends with Mina, Jonathan's fiancée. So he attacks Lucy, and the doctor has no idea what these strange wounds on her neck are and why she's got, anemic symptoms, even though she's not anemic. And if she was losing that much blood, it would have to go somewhere. So he has no real explanation for it. So just a lot of foreshadowing of, Lucy's fall to the dark side, the curse, taking over, and, Dracula's presence being confirmed in England. So Dr. Seward calls upon Abraham Van Helsing, who is the authority on weird diseases. Van Helsing comes and immediately diagnoses Lucy's case as being vampirism. And he doesn't initially say that to the rest of the group because he doesn't really want to freak them out and have him get kicked out of the house and not be able to help Lucy. So what he prescribes for treatment is multiple blood transfusions, which, quells Lucy's thirst. So the major conflict or climax in this story occurs not when Dracula is vanquished and destroyed, but actually when Lucy finally succumbs to the curse and she is a full-fledged vampire, and Van Helsing and Lucy's fiancé Arthur Holmwood, Dr. John Seward, and another friend, Quincy Morris, have to go into the tomb where Lucy was buried and decapitate her and put a stake in her heart. Fun! When they get down there, they discover she's not in her coffin. And Lucy appears, and she's kidnapped some child that she plans to kill. So they save the kid, and they decapitate Lucy, shove garlic down her throat, and Van Helsing asks Arthur Holmwood, her fiancé, to put the stake through her heart, which has some symbolic thing. I don't really know. So once Lucy is taken care of, Van Helsing and company go after Dracula, and they sterilized and destroyed all of his lairs in London. So Dracula flees back to Transylvania with the last box of dirt he has, and the telepathic connection between Mina and the Count helps him sort of stay ahead of the game and know what to look out for. Like, they were planning to cut off his boat at the port in Varna, but of course the Count caught wind of that and changed his plans. So they chase him back to his castle, and Mina is just becoming more and more infected and succumbing to the curse. And so when they get to the castle, Van Helsing has to face the 3 female vampires, and he kills them just in time for Quincy and Jonathan and John to show up to help kill Dracula. So it's actually Quincy who deals the killing blow, and once he has stabbed Dracula through the heart, he crumbles to dust, and Mina is freed from her curse. So at the very end of the story, there's a small author's note just talking about Jonathan and Mina's married life, kind of to give it a bit of an authenticity and, make it seem like it wasn't just a story, that it actually happened. And it explains that Jonathan and Mina had a son and named him Quincy after Quincy Morris, who died fighting Dracula. And so that's where the book ends, and the rest is history. I would definitely recommend this book to anyone who is interested in the occult and science fiction and vampires. Traditional vampires, mind you. Even though the book wasn't an immediate bestseller, the fact that it's hung around for over 100 years really says a lot about the quality of the story. It's something that a lot of people can enjoy, and it's been adapted for stage and screen numerous times, and I don't think they're going to stop anytime soon. So I hope you choose to read this book, and thanks for listening.